Hello, hello. Sound? Sound? God damn it. Yes. Thank fucking Christ. We're back. If anyone is still here, I appreciate you. Yeah, okay. I don't know what that was, but I just restarted the stream. I don't understand anything in this world, but that's okay. Can you hear me? He screamed into the terminal. Okay. Anyways, point being, I think that we're working now. Or at least the back end is working, and now I need to add it to the front end, which I can do. Just a little checkbox. And then we'll be done. Having done one of 3 tasks. I just need to learn this lesson. If I ever have a plan that involves the word and, it's not going to work. If I'm going to do this and that, no. I'm going to do this. So you make the goal to do the thing, not do the thing and the other thing. I want more print statements in this test. I thought I fixed that. Ugh. Didn't I just fix that? I'm running out of brain. Ooh, I just had an idea. Watch this fun game. Oh, man. If this kills my sound again, I'm going to end this stream. Because there's just a thing. No, but I was running Female Cap earlier. I don't know. Sound is weird. Everything is impossible. That's okay. What are we doing? We are... Right, we want to process the datums again. I also really want to make a dark mode of this, but we can do that later. Look at this. It's fine. We're not going to skip the tracking, but we're going to turn this down to 0, which I've never actually done before. Theoretically, that should run really fast, which would allow us to save some time. Oh, look at you go! Woo! That's like 2 to 3 times faster than the chunkier model. Except, oh wait, no, I told it to do that. Except I'm not running it with debugger, so it's just gonna crash in the expected way, which is still helpful. Do we still have sound? Yes. Yeah. No, for real. Like the audio, this is not the first time I've had audio stuff, and there's 0 way for me to know unless you say something. So first of all, thank you for saying something, because otherwise I would have just had a dead stream. Because I don't know what was going on. Like it looked good on my end. Like I have like Streamlabs going, and so I can check the mic that's going ba 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 ba. Like that was working. No idea. So thank you. For being you. Also, I'm curious, so what is this sloppy data going to look like? It looks sloppier. Garbage. Nice. Not garbage, but not good. Wait, why did it work at that point? Did you fail? Did you fail and continue going like I told you not to? Yes, you did. Hmm. Error. All these tests. Yeah, all these things that are... Blah. Assertion error. Slappy Pappy. We'll get there. I apologize for saying sloppy Pappy. Just to whoever's out there. Run it again with the debugger on. See, the actual way that I should be checking out is just have it here and then just every so often just turn it on. See, the actual way that I should... so I can check. But I have to actively be checking there. I can't just port it because it's on an audio delay and it would like melt my brain. It's called speech jamming. If you play someone a recording of their own, what am I doing? Turn this down to low for you fasty fast boy, and run. Like, it's like a way to it's like you can like shut down people giving speeches by just replaying their audio back at them with like a 100 millisecond delay. It's like you just cannot speak through that. It's like it's fun. You can download like speech jamming apps or whatever, or like probably a website that will just try it. It feels really weird. It feels like just like to hear your own words like on like a couple 100 millisecond delay. The mental effect is confusing. Okay, so you got that. So go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna check the audio again just because now I'm nervous. Okay. Did I not? Okay. One more. Once more with feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can have like a monitor on the mic. That's really helpful. Like, so like I have like headphones that come off of my mic that I could put in, which would help me know if the mic was having issues. But yeah, but it doesn't help me know if it's like getting this to Twitch. All right, so this is running. And it's probably just going to make it through happily. And where are you sad about? Marker. Yeah, this nan of empty slice, mean of empty slice, is a warning, not an error. I don't know why it's so mean, mean, scary, and red. I could fix that. We can fix that later. It's just simple, sloppy. Yeah. Okay. So you're working. So now the question is, why wasn't the test working? Oh, god damn it. It did run. It just, I was scrolled to the wrong place. I was still like I was scrolled at the part of the terminal where it had failed, and so I didn't see that it had scrolled down and passed. Incredible. Okay. So humbling. Stupid, like these computers, man, just like it's like interacting with like rectangle space as a primate. It's just like that's not where we're made for. We're made for trees and savannas. That's where we're happy. But we have to speak to these rectangles in their rectangle language. And it's just a challenge, you know? Which is why I, for one, welcome the machine. Because now that the internet speaks English, I don't want to have to write. I don't want to like now that the internet speaks English. I just want to talk to it and tell it what to do. It's still going to need my help because I'm going to want it to do primate things. But I don't want to learn. I don't feel like I need to speak rectangle language forever. Yeah. That's. Why can't I? Oh, I can't. I'm not logged in. I knew that. Wait, I can do it over here? I can probably do it over here. This is running. Gotta have that content, you know? Make sure you give the people what they want. They want that, I hope. Okay, I finally have the capacity. Wait, where are we? Chat. Hey, Ghetto Jesus. How you doing? There we go. That's what I was trying to do this whole time. Test passed. Test. Test. Okay. So. Commit. Yeah, dude. It's been a second. You know how it is. Or maybe you don't. Probably every time you see me stream, I've said something along the lines of what I'm about to say, which is, yeah, man, it's been such a long time since I've streamed. I enjoy it. It's just hard to get in the headspace. I'm trying to stream more regularly now, and so hopefully you'll see me more around more often. Every time I say it, I mean it. Commit. Added use multi-processing option to 2D parameters. Yeah, but no, it's like, I think that for like free mocap dev stuff, because I've been working on a bunch of other stuff. I'm working on like, for example, this, whatever this is. But don't look too closely. It's a secret. It's not really a secret. It's open. It's on my GitHub. But I've been building other tools because free mocap, like, it's been, other people have been helping me out with it. So maybe a pin on an updated task list. Yes. So right now I am implementing a fix, a change, or I guess a feature that was requested by AJC in the server during our Friday sort of hangout in the voice chat, where he points. So I added this like multi-processing thing where you can now process the multiple videos at once with multi-processing, which makes it much faster because they're processing in parallel instead of in serial. Yeah. Nice Java. It's good to know I'm not alone. It takes a lot of energy to stream. I enjoy it, but it takes a lot of energy. Just not to do it, just to click the button. But yeah, but the multiprocessing has the effect that, like, if your computer has limited RAM, or if you're trying to process really big videos, or both, like GoPro videos, which are really big, if you can't, it'll crash your RAM. Like, it could overflow your memory if you try it, because it'll try to do them all at once instead of in serial. So he requested that I make it optional, so you can either you can try to run it multiprocessing, and if it doesn't work, you can try it without multiprocessing. So that's what we're doing. But I'm running out of brain juice, and I really want to connect the pieces. So right now, so we got it working on the back end. We just got to add an option to the front end. And we do that by first of all checking how it wants to be. So I think, again, I have all my complaints about these patterns. I'm just going to keep saying them. Like, the GUI is as good as it's ever been, but it's also it's better than it's ever been and worse than it'll ever be. This is 1.0. It is what it's going to be. It's still RC, still release candidate. We haven't done like the full release because I'm trying to get some other stuff working before I do that part. But I am already planning 2.0, and it's 2.0. Ooh baby, that's gonna be the guy. It's got nothing on 3.0, but I don't know what that's gonna look like yet. So who cares? Probably won't be all Python-y. So I want to add another Boolean here. That's like yes or no, and that's going to be in the 2D image trackers. It's like naming. Okay, focus fucker. You don't have many brain juices left. You gotta focus. Process motion capture data panel. Control B. Also, just to be clear, when I say focus fucker, that's a mantra. That's not negative self-talk. We must be mindful of how we speak to ourselves, and it's just the alliteration that gets me there, that I appreciate. Okay, parameter 2 widget. Add parameters to the thing. Session processing parameters. Ho ho. I say ho ho. Ooh, convert session processing parameter model to parameter group. Yikes. Here we are. Children. Skip this step. Create media price. This is also one of those places where like this is probably one of the sloppiest parts. Have you ever had bandwidth problems for the cameras? Yes. Absolutely, it's in there now. It is one of the major technical bottlenecks now. Is like the cameras, like if you try to run this, so like you can't run cameras through hubs, even though I really want to, and we have to keep the resolution low, because even for like this is quite a powerful computer, but even on this computer, running multiple cameras at like 1080p, like 3 or 4 cameras, it starts to lag out. It actually is collecting the images fine on the back end, but it has problems trying to like process and send it to the front end and save stuff like that. What's up, Tropical Geek? Hi. Lego man. Yeah, so SkellyCam is the sub repo that does the camera stuff, and there is a branch of that, now quite old, that is like a big technical upgrade in the way that we handle like the images and connecting to the cameras, in the hopes of like mitigating some of that bottleneck. There's a lot of like complicated tricks and tips you can do to make it more efficient. It's just a lot of data streaming fast, and there's a lot of water going through the pipe, and it's always going to be challenging to manage it. So we currently have a system that's not my favorite system, that sort of mitigates, that can handle some amount of like water flow, where water is an analogy for like the data coming off the cameras, but it's limited, and that's a major technical bottleneck of this right now, is like you're maxed out at like 3 or 4 cameras tops. Like, yeah, so we're working on that. Yeah, Tropical Geek, things are moving along quite nicely. Things are working well. We're gearing up towards like a 1.0-ish release, which is really more just like a spiritual thing than anything else. Because this it's gonna be this. Uh, yeah, and, things are nice and growing. We hit 1,000 users, which is pretty wild. Like this little pings here sends information about like when you run it. Uh, yes. Mongo. I'm learning how Mongo works. I'm using Mongo. Look at this. I got Mongo. I'm running stuff. This is my bot that I'm making. Yeah, but the when I talk to like professional developers who've helped like Endurance, my CTO friend who's helped out with this, it's like it's the same tasks as like running stuff off of like Twitter and whatnot. It's just it's much more fragile and it's much faster because like a camera produces new frames. Even like a shitty webcam produces a new frame every 30 milliseconds, and any blocking operation and it just skips the frame. Any mistake and it just crashes. So you have multiple cameras, which are external, unverified, unknown hardware, just dumping data into to multiple USB ports at the same time at a very fast rate in a very large, like these are images. These aren't like JSONs. It's not text. It's images. So it's the same kind of task as all these things. It's just like it's challenging. Focus. So we have this. We have these children, and it's going to look very similar to this. Create new. What is it? New. Create new. Maybe a proxy saving disk might be used. So, squirrel. Saving to disk is a blocking operation. So that's why we currently. So like if you grab from the camera and then save it to disk, you have to manage that very carefully, or you get frame drops. So currently we just save it all in memory, which works, except that the memory fills up. And so right now we have like a built-in memory leak, where if you're recording, you can record for as long as you have available RAM, because we do all the saving at the end, because we don't want to interfere with the recording process, which is not great. But anyways, we're getting better. Learning every day. Okay. Create, I'm not going to call it create new. Create, use multi-processing parameter. And skip step name. Jeez, man. I just like writing code in the pattern of like writing code in this code base right now feels like putting on a wet swimsuit. It's like I know why it's wet. I'm not upset that it's wet. It's just that like it's just like it feels. It's like, man, I remember when I wrote code like this, and I'm glad that I don't anymore. It's not the worst code in the world. It's pretty good by most standards. It's just like my standards have gotten higher. My standards are always do better than I can currently do, which means that I look on anything I've done in the past with a very critical eye. Create, use, multiprocessing, but also I can work with this. It's fine. Thanks, machine. How's that going to work? Use bool, value false. Tip. What else do you got? If you are going the other way, if you true. Oh no, sorry. I've been swearing. And wait, can I turn that off? I don't know. So, Ghetto Jesus, absolutely, that would make everything much easier. But what you don't understand, you see, is that I am, I have, there's constraints for this project, and the constraints are around like, it has to be as close to plug and play usable with absolutely generic camera hardware and generic software as we can get it. So people are using this like they're again like 1,000 plus users in 70 plus countries. Um, so like absolutely you could make like a proxy hardware like record to like a Jetson Nano or just like any sort of dedicated hardware to be like a staging step, but then you'd have to buy that to be able to use it. And so a lot of aspects of this project have been made much harder by those constraints. Um, like doing synchronization on software side is not how to do camera synchronization. Like you're supposed to use cameras that can be hardware synced. Like you send a ping. Oh no, apologize. You just it's your head's in the right place. It's just like you're not. There's like secret constraints that I have for the project. But yeah, like professional cameras have boards. So this is one of the boards from our crappy webcams. There's nothing in here, like it doesn't take input. Um, Professional like research cameras take a synchronization. There's a signal goes in that says, "Hey, timestamp," and then they synchronize that way. These ones don't do that, so we have to synchronize on the software side. Okay, I got to use my brain juice. Tropical Geek, when you say squirrel, I need to listen to you. If has issues processing larger videos, try turning this off to process in parallel. Necessity was, yeah. Yeah. Parallel. It's interesting actually, like coming from like a scientific background, like a lot of science has this kind of perspective of like just get the job done. Like you're trying to do the research, like you're doing a study. And ideally you're doing like multiple studies and they build on themselves, but especially the kind of research I have traditionally done, it's a lot of it's kind of one shot studies, one shot experiments. And so like often kind of the code and the tools and stuff that get built for those things are like the person who's running the experiments can do them and run them and nobody else can, and that's like okay. Or like people in the lab can run it and that's okay. But yeah, absolutely. It's like when I was a younger man, like in grad school, it was like bulldog kind of approach of like get it. Like, I'm trying to get to the outcome, and it's very effective and good to do that. And I often need to remind myself that like sometimes that is what you want to do. But now in my ages of wisdom, why are you sad? No, that's fine. You can be static. I'm more and more into like these generative solutions, and like I have people in my lab. Like I'm trying to make space for other people to be able to like have that playground approach. I can't do Tropical Geek is a good idea, but I can't do that either because this is for free mocap. So unless one of these Firehose data company software wants to give me their stuff as a free version that I can put into a software that is under AGPL and can be used for commercial use by other people, it's not going to work. So I like living the challenging life. It's fun, and it ultimately works out. Like looking at the pings coming in from like we get a lot of pings from like Vietnam. We get pings from like a lot from India and like places in South America. Like not that many in Africa, but like more than zero. And it's just like, I'm just thinking about like making sure that whatever, like that they can still do whatever they're doing, and that they can do it with the resources that they have available. Which, there's a lot of people out there, any part of the world where like buying a couple $20 webcams is a big cost. And eventually, so like we're starting, like, we're building and planning at the organizational scale of like how to keep this project growing and moving. And part of the plan is that we're eventually going to be making and selling our own hardware. And we absolutely don't have the resources for that right now, but we will eventually. And when that happens, like, I have enough technical know-how to like I can't make and design my own cameras. I don't have fabrication stuff, but if I'm talking to people that do, I know how to make a camera like this that is actually well suited for motion capture, markerless motion capture, at a price point that is competitive with this. Like, this is $20 off Amazon if you're lucky. It's like $8 off Alibaba, but you have to buy them by the 100. So, and the components are just not designed for this. Like, we're using tools for something other than their intended purpose, which is why it's hard. Once we start making our own stuff, the goal will be to make cameras that can simultaneously operate as webcams, because why not? A camera's a camera. Like, working with the same sort of generic UVC, universal video codec sort of protocols that your USB uses to read cameras. Yeah, it's very Adam Savage. There's people out there. But like, making cameras that are better suited for this task. And when they are, a lot of the problems will get better. So there's a part of me that like, I see these bottlenecks and these problems and like the issues that come up, and a lot of them just don't bother me because they feel like these are problems that exist at this level of the project, at this tier of the project. And a lot of them will just go away as the project and as the organization grows and continues. I don't know what cameras are the most optimal, actually. I really like these ones. They don't have a brand name. They just have a little port on the bottom, and they're cheap, and I bought a box of 100 of them a year ago. I gave most of them away. Nice. Yeah, it's hot where I am. So, and I was like, I should put sleeves on. I'm gonna be on the internet. And then I was like, the internet doesn't care. And at least I'm wearing a shirt. But yeah, I don't know. Like think questions of the camera hardware. Like, a lot of the inefficiencies in the back end, and sloppiness on the front end, and like anti-pattern stuff, and the GUI and blah blah blah. Like, I see it, and it does. I notice it in the sense of like it's like I don't want to say like it bothers me, like it makes me like upset, but I notice it as things that could be better, and like it mostly I just kind of like take note of them, and just think like, okay, yeah, these are issues that exist, these are issues that should be fixed, and a lot of them will go away. And what I've noticed, like, a lot of the big challenge in this like once software development gets to this level of like complexity, the task is not figuring out what to work on. The task is prioritizing what to work on, because a lot of these things are problems, but they're not roadblocks. Like, they're not like, you can still make progress. People can still use it, and so it's just like prioritizing what gets worked on, because the effort is so limited on my side. Like, there's me, couples, like, somewhere between 1 and 3 students working on this, and then whoever else comes along to help. And there have been people on the Discord server who's been helping out, especially people like AJC, me, Michael, and folks like that who are making like Blender add-ons and stuff like that, so that the output can actually be useful for animators. Priority number 1 at the moment, I really want a single-click installer. Like, I want to build an installer for this thing, so you don't have to like run it from the freaking terminal and pip install it. Like, freemocap.org/download. Boom. That's what I want. It's not far off. It's just complicated. I kind of know how to do it, but I need help. I know a guy like Endurance, my friend Endurance, has already helped me with part of it. He's ready to help me with the next part of it. We just have to find the time to do it. But I think that once it's to the point where you don't need to like run it from the terminal and like pip install it and make an environment and all that nonsense, that'll be a real game changer. Other than that, priorities are like probably making the Blender output something functional, or just like having an output that is like usable by animators, like proper FBX, proper BVH, like Unreal compatible, like Mixamo compatible output. Those are arguably that's the highest priority in terms of like functional things to work on. Oh yeah, nice. Send them to the Discord server. Tell them to say hi. That's where all roads lead to the Discord server. But thank you for the help. Yeah, like I've been mentioning before, like we've started just like hanging out in the voice channel of the Free Mocap Discord server on Friday mornings, 11 a.m. Boston time. We might shift that time around if it's more people, but it's been nice to sort of have an opportunity to have more of a dialogue with people that's a little bit more even than this like strange form of communication. And also I do like streaming. Okay, brain is melting. If you have already run this step, you can skip it. Finish that. Da 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 da. Okay. Okay. Oof. So it's like my understanding of it. I'm not sure how much. Like I don't. This is like does not pass my scientific muster, but it does pass my my intuition. That the feeling of brain fog, especially after like paying a lot of attention for too long in a row, is literally like your brain has excreted all of its pay attention juice, and it needs time to reuptake those, because your brain it squirts out neurochemicals that float around in the soup and then it sucks it back up. And like the feeling I'm having now is like I recognize this feeling as like I've expended my pay attention juice and now I'm just trying to like scrape the bottom of the barrel. Ghetto Jesus. Yeah, Aaron on the server, my grad student. No, I'm almost done. This is not a take a break time. This is a finish and be done time. It's important to know. Check this out. Boom, because it's working. Yeah, so we're running validations and stuff like that. See, this is also pretty anti-pattern. I'm gonna leave it like that for now. Okay, so we got that in there. Now we need to be able to grab that value when we are processing stuff. So when I do that, again, we're just following the pattern that exists. We're not judging it. We have, okay, this button is named Process Motion Capture Videos. There it is. And when you click, it connects this guy here. That pulls this. Create session parameter model. Get active. Okay, so that gets there. No active recording. Does a bunch of these tests. So sloppy, but it's fine. Da 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 da. Okay, you're going in there. This might. No, I have to do this one. Control B. Extract parameter model from parameter tree. Ho ho! I got you. Look at that. I knew it. Can you guess? Look at you. Good job. I see. And that's why I did that. Bussin'. Okay, so how do we do this? We're going to say Control-Shift-C. Following the pattern, even if you don't like it, use processing parameter name. Control B is up here. Oh, look at all these guys. Is that what we're doing? Is that really how we do that? I mean, it's it's just like I see it. I'm just like, man, John, I didn't write all this, but I wrote a lot of it. It's just like, it's so much stuff. Yeah. If you weren't here for it earlier, it's like every part of my perfectionist brain is screaming out to me to refactor the entire thing from scratch again. And I want to, and I will, and it's like, that's 2.0. 2.0. Oh my god, it's going to be beautiful. But for now, we just follow the pattern. Put it where you would expect for it to be, not where you think it should be. Because if you put it somewhere else, then either you in the future or someone else won't be able to find it. Okay, and now I need to go back. Process panel. Process panel. Let's do this smart and do that. And Control-Shift-F. Where are you? Doop-a-doop-boo. Control-Shift-F. Control-Shift-F. See, by putting the name in those constants, it allows me to reference, like get them out of the reference easier. It's just a little harder to set up, but not that hard. So now I'm importing. See, now that name gets imported and used. So that way I know how to reference it in different parts of the code. Okay. I think that worked. How are we going to tell if it worked? I guess I know. So we're going to run. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. And I'm going to do... Okay, so see, this feels super... This feels ugly as fuck to me. Leave it. Step 1 question, will it just regular old run them? Once again, turning this down. Didn't remember that. I thought I was supposed to remember my settings. Good night, Ghetto Jesus. Remember where you are again? What part of the world? Unless you already signed off. Okay, so we'll be able to tell. So we're trying to use multiprocessing right now. And we should be able to tell, because it should show up and do this like blinky thing. Yeah, okay. So we are currently multiprocessing. What is this? Yeah, this is all my. This is the slop that I've taught to other people. This is the word. This is also part of it. Oh yeah, Sweden, nice. Good night. Thanks for checking in. This is also one of the reasons why I've become like a little obsessed with like these patterns and stuff like that. Like just like software development and just like because I'm a professor. I teach people things, and it's like I just teach people. You know, it's just like, man, I feel bad teaching them stuff, and then like a couple months later being like, don't do it like that. And also it's like I see all these things, like I see mistakes that aren't mistakes, like these are like when I see slop that I put somewhere, it's like, I made that I did that slop. When I see slop that one of my students put into their package that I taught them how to make, that is often like a copy of the stuff I made, it just like hurts me a little bit more because I'm like, I failed you. But like really it's like they're already doing really impressive stuff and their skills are getting better and better. It's just like, you know, a lot of my desire to be better is my desire to be able to teach more effectively. Teaching and training. It's gonna be ugly because I did the dumb model, but okay. So that worked. Don't save. And now we don't multiprocess, run it again. And now they should run, but it should be just one. It's working. Unbelievable. Great. Hooray! Muppet arms. Tell your body that you were successful at a thing. Ba-ba-bum. And I'm also going to go in there. So this is AJC, who made some requests. Is it here? He shared the line of code. There it is. I was in my mind. I was like also gonna have time to like go and look at the like work on implementing and improving the Blender output, but that's not gonna happen. But I might be able to add that line, which would be an easy thing. Okay. Data layer, export data. Again, a little bit. That's not where it should be, but it's fine. In there, you are running. You worked. We're so proud of you. Good job, Skelly. You're beautiful. You've always have been. And this is now, it's got, it doesn't clear itself. Great. Go to sleep. You've done great. Thank you. Did I run that twice? Now we're going to run these tests. While running those tests, thank you. We are going to go to Discord, grab that, which I already did, and then go in here, Blender export scripts, the mega script take 2, and where would I put this? Where would I put it in the scene? Mode set. It wants to be towards the end. Also want that, I think. He requested that they start at 0, not 1. Unless there's some reason why I asked it not to do that. I should check that. There's no reason why I did that. I just think I forgot that stuff starts at 0 in this world. If it crashes, it'll tell me. Okay, focus. Create origin axes, set start and end frame. Yeah. Okay, so we want to after everything's been done, right before we save the scene, is when I want to put that thing in there. Man, I can't wait to have actual output, like actual usable output. Okay, Blender scene mode set, save as main file. Da. Blender context scene render FPS sample rate, sampling rate. Do I know the sampling rate? That's the question. Have I been given enough information to know the sampling rate? I might not. I don't think I know the FPS at this level. I'd have to send it down from elsewhere. Poisson. No, so the request is to set the Blender scene to match the frame rate of the recording. Because by default it looks pretty good because the default is 30 FPS and the default camera says 30 FPS or like 29.97 or some nonsense. But for other recordings it plays at different speeds, which is annoying to deal with. But yeah, I have to. The current iteration does not have. We're kind of sloppy with how we manage the timestamps. Oh yeah, nice. And unfortunately, I cannot add that feature as easily as I thought I could because the code, like this script, does not. I don't send it the frame rate. I don't send it any information that it could use. Is that true? What do I send you? Recording path. Recording path. No, it would be too hard. That's not a today thing. Because yeah, this is like we do need to be better at managing our timestamps, and we will be. That is something that's like in the docket, but that's not a sit down and fix it thing because I don't have a. There's ways that I could get the timestamp, but it wouldn't be bulletproof. It would cause problems in some cases. So I'm just not going to add it, and sorry to the people for whom that's annoying. You just have to set your frame rate. Oh wait. Later. Put it on the list. We can you can skip multi-processing now. Hooray. Oh, my brain is gonna melt out of my skull. But that's okay, cause I wasn't using it anyway. I do need a tropical assistant. Man. I can't wait to unveil Skellybot. Or more realistically, to the effect of, hey, I'm totally bonkers new at all of this, and I need you to hold my hand on every part. And I say to myself, boy, I sure wish I could hold your hand through this entire process, but I'm so tired. If only I could create a magical rectangular assistant that could read and ingest all the documents and knows how to solve low-level programming software setup. If only. If only we lived in that world. Mwahaha. Start. Add frame 0. Ads! I hate ads. I hate ads, and I hate that I'm subjecting you guys to ads. I think I am streaming on YouTube. But Twitch is just the place, you know. I hate ads. I'm sorry. I hate them. Thanks for letting me know, actually. Because did they play it all at the same time for everybody? Or does it pick and choose? I think I know that there's settings there, and I think I told it to do it at the same time. It's back. It's again with the no sound. I did say I was going to give up if it happened again.